difficult question for me, as I see like myself in like many different roles. Many people recognize me as a business person. My family recognizes me as a mother of 4. Some people recognize me like as a person who loves cats. Some of them like see me as person who loves to study a lot. So I think that, you know, for me it's very hard to see and to define only like in one sentence who I am. I usually like, you know, I always say that I'm more than just one role in my life. For me, I don't know, maybe it's just like a spontaneous answer, but I would imagine as a fox, because I'm spontaneous. I like to be playful, and I like dynamics, and I don't like then you just sit in one place all the time. So for me, somehow, like spontaneous answer that I would see myself as a fox. The most common, it's like for me, it's maybe bored stigma about me, but it's usually about, you know, that I have 4 boys in a row. So usually like everyone is surprised, especially that they like have small kids. And the second thing that usually people are surprised of, of combination of the things I did in my professional life and what I achieved, and also the thing that I was capable, like, or maybe managed to balance everything, my family and my business in my life. So maybe these are the surprising things that I hear from people, like why they are surprised about me. One of my key projects is project that I have, like, you know, I wouldn't call it as a startup, but it's like the new initiative that I try to create for education. So I spend quite a lot of time there. Also, I spent now as a student, it's my like final thesis. I'm like now on my final thesis, so I spend lots of time on writing that that thing, and also I'm studying somewhere else. Like so, I have like, you know, like optional education things. So it's also I do there. And also you can mention, like, you know, family and some ceramics that I do, because I'm for 6 years now I'm practicing pottery, so I'm making pots, plates and everything. So it's so yes, you know, it's a combination of many things that I do. So it's but lately it's like my project that I do, like my educational project, and my studies, my other studies, and yeah, and then family and my personal things, what I do. Well, I think that nowadays there is no such thing that I finished my bachelor degree, my master degree, and that's it. I finished like my studies. So I think it's not the case anymore. So I think that if you would take like most of the people, and well, you would get the answer that, oh, I would need to study more, or there are like, no, times are changing. I need to learn this. I need to learn this, or I would like to learn this. So I think that it's about lifetime learning. It's a new stigma right now, and I think that's like, I don't see the other way around, that, you know, just finish like 4 years of studies, that like then you are 18, 20 or something, and you finish that. So there is one thing. I think one thing is the necessity, or I would say the changing situation in the world, like VUCA world. The second thing, like personally about me, so I'm usually a very curious person, so I like to learn new things. And for me, it's like it's my kind of motivation. Is like, I always say, like, if I don't feel a sense of achievement, I feel that I'm stopping somewhere. So, and I don't like the feeling that I am in the same status quo situation and I don't go up anymore. So for me, it's like, you know, like a food that's a must. I need to grow, like personally. Because that's how I feel happy. I don't have specific person that I'm admiring, so it's and it's still the case. My case of looking for inspiration, as I mentioned before, I like the puzzle. Like, you know, and usually, like, you know, each person is perfect and imperfect in many ways. So, and I like always to, what's my way of like taking inspiration from other people. So it's like, I like to talk to people. I see the strengths, to see the weaknesses, and usually what you do, you end up with, I'm taking what takeaway I would like, what what thing I would like to take from this person, or like, from this person, and this is how I end up with with a kind of some vision or some puzzle picture. That's my type of my leadership inspiration that I would like to become one day. So I think that there are no perfect people in the world, and well, I'm not naive, and even like if you think so, usually it's you don't see the whole picture, because we're all human beings, we're all imperfect, but we all have super nice skills or some features or that you can take from them, and well, not to take, but that they can inspire you. So I think that's it's like I have a game, like always look for some things that I would like to learn from each person, and then I have in my in my vision, and that helps me to create the image of the like kind of perfect leader that I would like to be in the future. I just met one girl, a friend of mine, and she said, well, why shouldn't you try? Because I said, I have the idea and I'm a bit too lazy to develop it, but I would like someone to force me to do that. And then she said, oh, I'm working here like in BMI, and maybe you would be interested to join. And for me, the key reason is it was not about gaining more knowledge in certain fields. For me, the key motivation was I have the idea, the reason why I would like to come here, and I need someone to force me to make a business plan for that idea. So that was the reason I joined. Today, before coming to your meeting, I was like just looking to my schedule, and I was like declining all the meetings that I can decline. So I was like, or delegating. So it was like, for me, if I have like a very intense like schedule for myself that I need to do and to focus a lot, so I don't like distractions. And because distractions is like, it doesn't matter whether it's a phone or it's the meeting or some like chit chat with someone else. For me, I see this as a distraction. So that's why I try to to isolate myself and to work like as much as possible. Of course, it's impossible to stay productive like for 6-7 hours per day. So that's why I have some tactics, some strategies, like how to do that. But basically my key steps are to eliminate all the distractions. That's my number one thing. It's like from my experience, maybe I'm more from startup world, so maybe it's like I have more exposure there, so that's why maybe I can judge on that side more. But I would say that from hard skills, most of the entrepreneurs, they're missing financial background. I was the case as well, and even here, like then I'm studying in BMI at BMI. So for me, one of the key motivation to go to the lectures was the huge exposure to finance. So it was one of the reasons also to join the courses. So I think that financial literacy is like very important. Then you are like trying to understand what you're doing, because usually like it's not enough just to have the idea or just to have passion. Sometimes you need to understand how the hygiene of business, how it works, and to find the business models and everything. So I think that just to have some background in finance, it's a key for success. Or otherwise, there's other option. You need to have someone in the team who will support you. So this is also the case. And about soft skills, I don't know. I would say one thing that I mentioned, but it's changing. But especially if we speak with a bit old generations, that there are people who are like who came from hierarchical structures, so they are afraid, or they don't know how to say I don't know, or to admit that they don't know things, and to ask for help. So I think that for also some entrepreneurs or some general managers and so on. So for me, maybe it's like one of the skills that is very crucial. I would say to be humble and to admit that you might not know some things, because the world is super complex, and I think that it's it's impossible for one person to know everything. And that's why you always need to be with a team. You always need to go to the team to ask for some questions, to delegate, and it's like it's not those time like it's those times where like the leader or the manager needs to know everything and to control everything. It's like in the past. It's like I guess it will never be like this anymore. So and to be like to have that soft skill of admitting that you don't know and that you're capable to ask for help, I think it's very important. I feel I met so many leaders, and if I mean great leaders, but then I can try to to put them like in the row, and I would see that they all have very different skills or leadership styles. So I think it's like everyone expects like one answer. You should be like this, and then you're gonna be a great leader. So I think that it's usually it's not the case. It's a combination, and sometimes in some people one leadership style doesn't fit and doesn't combine in real leadership in leading the people. And for other people, it's usually like it's a very intuitive thing, and they are very good at like they feel like they are dancing and they can do it like like from their heart. So I think that it's a very it's a tough question. Though of course I would imagine like what you expect, like so of course it's a team leader, of course person who knows and who understands that VUCA world, like uncertainty and everything. It's like it's like the new big thing in our world, and that it means that you're the one person. It's not a solo player thing anymore. So it usually it's a team player game. In our days, maybe there's one common thing, especially for younger generations. What I noticed that if you come and you look for a job, what you expect from leaders. So usually you look for inspiration or setting the direction. Because it's like many people like they're like eye rolling, then they hear about there's like 20-something person and he or she comes and they say, I want to work like for some purpose. And like for all generations, like usually like again those people with purpose. But for me, I think that this is one of the key things. Like if as a leader you cannot offer or show the purpose or direction to your team members, I think that you're lost. And I think especially, of course, maybe if you're a boutique company, if you're a small company, maybe it's still possible. But if you're a big global company with a huge scale, so I think that it's company without purpose and vision is like almost impossible to be successful, in my opinion. Yeah, so I think that leadership is a journey. It's like. And even like, I don't know, if you would ask some great leaders after 20, 30 years of leading some companies, and you would ask them, are they perfect? I think that everyone would say, no, I'm not perfect. And I guess sometimes even more experience you have, the more imperfect you feel, because then, then you get more experience, you understand, then you get the more knowledge you get, the more you understand that you don't know anything about the world that is happening. So I think that it's, as I said, so leadership is a journey, and at the beginning, of course, I started my leadership journey when I was 21. So it's like I was a student, so it's like it's more about discovery and about understanding myself first, not about it wasn't the stage about leading others. It was more about understanding who I am and my strengths, my weaknesses, and everything. And it's like it was like very natural, very intuitive path of just like improving and going. With the time, then you start to see more leaders that inspire you, and then somehow you collect like from this leader I would like to take this one, this like skill or something. From this leader I would like to take away my takeaway is this thing, and you make it like a puzzle. And somehow you end up with a kind of some intuitive picture of the leader that you yourself would like to be. So I think I think it's the same with me. Well, there are many of them, I guess. So you can say like it's always about like maturity, about whether you're mature enough like to be, because as a leader you always need to be 2-3 steps forward compared to the team, because you always need to think about the future. So I think that it's always like this is the core, and at the same time they're one of the biggest challenges, like because you always need to be in the future and to think about the future while also making sure that the present is also that you are still absent in the present as well. So I think it's one of the key challenges, I would say. and the other thing, what I would name, is, being able to be a part of the team, because I think that as a leader, as a human being, you always want, sometimes you feel everything faster, and you want just to come to the team and just to tell how to do. But I think that this is like very wrong way of leadership, and I think that the key, how real leaders should act. So the leader should stay within the team, lead within the team, and with the team. So I think that sometimes you always feel like, but delegation, working with the team, sometimes it takes longer at the beginning. It's like, it's an investment that you need to take in order to have long-term results. So sometimes you want to do some shortcuts, and like instead of working with the team, sometimes you want to go and to tell the team what to do. But I still think that's like just short-term vision, because then team is not scalable, because it's like if you are the only one who is responsible for decisions, it means that there's only one person who decides in the team. So then I think that, and then the team cannot move fast, because it's like if there's one bottleneck in the company or in the team, it's the leader who needs to take all the decisions by himself or herself. So one thing is, it's very subtle thing, it's very hard to tackle that features, but I always try to check what the person feels good with the unknown, and how person reacts to unknown, because there are vast majority of people who are if they are in a very unstable station, they feel stressed, they feel lost, and for a long time they cannot be there for a quite long time. So that's why they're looking for answers, which is a good thing. But on the other hand, if you're building some startups, and it's very it's a very spontaneous area where you don't know what will happen tomorrow, or whether you're gonna be alive in 12 months period. So I think that being okay with the unknown is one of the most important things that I'm looking in my team. The other thing is, as I'm a team player, so I'm also looking for other team players, and it's like, well, you need people, because if you pretend that you are a team, but there are some people who are just solo players, well, there's no dialogue anymore, and for the team, dialogue is the key, and I think that that's why it's very important to have team players, other team players in your team as well. Also, I'm still looking for ambition, and I think that it's you can say that, oh, it doesn't matter what you're going to do, but maybe just from your you look to yourself, and then maybe that's why you judge other people looking to yourself. But for me, ambition to grow is one of the key things, and actually that's why I'm even not at my work, but just from personal life, I admire people who have some ambition, and it's not about professional ambition or some career ambition. It's for me, it's about some passions. I'm so curious about something. I'm so into that, and I will do extra mile just to learn in this field something more. So for me, that ambition, or I would say passion, or even can say curiosity, for me is one of the key features that also I'm looking for. With my project, that educational project, my goal is to as I say, fail fast. So I have the inner goal, in 12 months period, to decide whether my project is, well, can be a sustainable business or not. So it's, in my life now, it's from now on, in next year, I should come up with the answer. Do I continue with my project or not? So, and in this 12 months period, I do everything. I do monetization plan, marketing plan, and and I do lots of experimentation. We are building the product at the moment. So it's a combination of everything, and then you come up with the fact whether you can continue or should you stop. Maybe it's not only in Lithuania. Maybe it's in all the world. There is a stigma that, and I also see from schools, that in schools, kids are taught to be managers or founders of the company. and somehow it is shown as the key result of your life and the purpose of your life. So I think that usually like it's because you get independence, you get financial freedom, you get power of taking decisions on your own, and so on. So I think that is like it's true. The image that is created by everyone in the society, but there's also the other side of like sometimes you should ask whether you want to be a leader and just a manager or just a founder of the company, because there is also like maybe not that bright side. It's also there's a huge responsibility. There's also like some people like you finish your work at 5, you close the door and you forget about that. And if you're a founder, it's totally the opposite, because usually like at 5 people leave. So then okay, meetings are over. Now I can start to work because I need to think, and I need to think about some strategic things, and so it's so there are like I wouldn't call that dark side, but it's the thing that you need to answer yourself whether is it okay for you? Like, are you okay with taking more responsibility, taking like that, working actually, well, maybe not working, but always thinking about your project that you own. Also, like, because it's always, if not you, no one else will solve the problem. It's always the end contact. It's always you. And well, if you don't like that, so it's usually like for some people who are like imagine, oh, it's very nice to be a founder. Oh, but I need to take like even the ugly decisions, and then you need to answer whether you're okay with that. So I think that this is like the image that usually it's very positive side or super negative side, but I guess it's a combination of two, and you always need to decide whether it's a fit for you as well. It's a match or not. I can give you some advice today. Tomorrow it will be a totally different answer. Like in 1 week it will be another, because there are like there is no one answer or some some recipe, like some success recipe. So there are always, it's like complex of things that leads you to success. But today my advice would be, try not to be alone. And if you're like founding something, if you have some ideas or something, try to have the team around you which is strong, sometimes even stronger than you, and then that helps you to grow much faster. Because usually like not being alone, it's usually a shortcut to success, because it's like instead of being one person in the team, you can be like 5 strong or 6 strong people who are like accelerating growth and success for the future.